Hi, Fred, FR5ED with the Silent 5 here with the beer review. This is an exciting adventure in the world of craft beer adventures, and that is, you've heard me say before, I never met a Lagunitas I didn't like, and this is no different. Now, the reason I already know I like this is they had this in the store. It's called Born Yesterday Pale Ale. They had this at our ABC when I went in today. This was bottled and shipped 8 days ago. And so it's a little pricey, not because of the ABV, it's only 6.5%, but because it is so fresh. The hops, I'll read you the description in a second, but it's got several hops in it: Mosaic, Amarillo, Citra, Equinox, other varieties, Simcoe. Anyway, it's so fresh that to ship it that quickly, it obviously costs extra. Normally, 6 packs of Lagunitas, almost irrespective of the ABV, runs 10 something, 10.50, 10.99, whatever. Most of the ones I get, anyways. And this was 13.49, and it's only 6.5% ABV. But when I tasted a little sample, smelled and tasted, it was so fresh. And again, the line being blurred for me between IPAs and pale ales. You think of IPAs being higher gravity, more of everything, more malt, more hops, more alcohol, except I just said higher gravity. Anyway, this, and again, I'm going to taste it a little more, with a little more attention here in a moment. But first I want to read to you about this. It says, since Born Yesterday is bottled and shipped on the very same day, probably the freshest fresh hop ale you'll get your paws on. The arrival date is kind of in the air till things get closer and nature says so. And it's a little more fluff there. But anyway, it was rated very highly in the short time it's been out. They only came out with this, I think he said a couple of weeks ago. In fact, maybe it's the only batch they're going to have, because it's part of the one hitter series, the 2015 one hitter series. But it rates a 98. This is 142 reviews on Beer Advocate. A 98, world class. The brothers give it a 90. And over on Rate Beer, comes in, after 111 reviews, it comes in at 100 overall and 100 in style. So, with all that being said, there's a little bit different description here. It says, is a newborn version of our reborn pale, New Dogtown Pale, with a fresh addition, virgin hops from the trellised lands of the verdant Yakima Valley in Washington, unkilned for an immaculate reception. Then deliver the results to brew in 24 hours. Wow. Okay, that is enough talk. Get the top off of there. Get this thing pouring. Very clear in the pour. Plenty of carbonation. This is right out of the cooler there, so it's a good temperature. By the time I got it home, this is, to me, perfect drinking temperature. Extremely clear, extremely robust carbonation. That's a pretty sight there. And it's lighter than, most IPAs on the SRM scale. I'm sure it's going to be down there in the 5, maybe 5 range, but extremely clear. I mean, I don't know if you can see just how I'm seeing the light through the glass. So I'm seeing this cascade volcano of bubbles hitting the bottom of the head there and adding to it. So, this head's still about a 4-finger head. Anyway, very tight head. Looks great. Oh my. When I smelled it in the little cardboard cup in the store, it doesn't do it justice. Getting it in a proper glass like this IPA glass to focus that, I got to hang on, I'll be right back. It is like the hops have been plucked off the vine and rubbed around a little bit and just dropped in here. It is so fresh and sweet and citrusy and fruity smelling. And almost a little, I don't want to say green as in unripe, but green as in fresh. I can almost see the green hop cones. That is unbelievable. What a burst of hops. That makes all the difference. I am going to start brewing my own soon. And by golly, the freshness of the hops is going to be one of the highlights of each batch. I got to taste this now. And having it warmed up a little bit, because they had it ice cold out of a cooler and poured it. It was very good. I mean, I bought it because I liked the little sample, but I knew it was going to be better once it warmed up a little and when I got it in a proper glass. And oh my, it is crazy good. A little bit sweet, just a little bit, so it's not, tooth sucking dry. There's hop bitterness. I don't see any IBUs on here. Now this says 7.5% on the website, but the bottle says 6.5%. Go figure. My goodness, that is unbelievable. That is so refreshing. I mean, the almost sweet, citrusy candy type flavor that's in there. And I'm not saying sweet, not cloying. It doesn't taste like sweet candy. I'm just saying it's just such a fresh taste, not surprisingly. That is eminently drinkable. Now, two things. One, at $13.49 a six-pack, I probably won't be grabbing this. Darn, I shouldn't say very often. It's a one-time thing. It's a one-hitter. I wonder if that means this is the only time you'll ever see it, the one shipment, and it's over. I count myself lucky to have gotten a hold of it in that case. But oh my gosh, if you find it, if you see it, please try it. It is fabulous. Fabulous. This is Lagunitas, born yesterday, fresh hop pale ale. And this is a very satisfied Fred, FR5ED, over and out.